I don't wear pants. My butt touches everything. Oh, hi! Welcome to my couch. Because, I wanted to do a video, but, I didn't want to get up. I have my chips here. So, I just ordered the drone off Amazon and had them deliver a camcorder to my porch. And then I called my neighbor. Actually, I texted my neighbor. No one calls anyone anymore. And I'm like, bro, I've got a package. Can you break it to my house and give it to me? I'll give you $50. So he bought the $50 and he set it up for me. He's a very nice man. And then he kind of took a few things and he left, but I don't really care, It's fine. We're going to do a video. And I'm pretty pumped. I mean, not super pumped, but I'm pumped. So, what story am I telling today?
Pep'e the pig, please tell us the time about how you got marooned on a desert island with a libertarian possum named Larry.
Oh, that story. Okay. So, all adventures start on the couch, except when they don't. But, I was chilling on the couch, much like today, but I was more motivated because I'd had my coffee that day. And I thought, Pep'e, you don't get out enough. And I thought this because over the past 3 weeks, my mother had been religiously telling me whenever she saw me, Pep'e, you don't get out enough. And she sounds just like that. And she's like, Pep'e, you don't get out enough. You should get off the couch more. And I'm like, Mom, I love the couch. The couch is my home. I sleep here. I eat here. I even ordered an implant toilet so I can do my business here. I'm never leaving this couch. And I still hold true to those faiths today. Those truths, I believe, I hold to be self-evident. The couch is my home now, because I sleep on her couch. I live on her couch, I'm surprised she hasn't accepted this yet, that, I'm just going to live on her couch. But anyway, so I thought it occurred to me, it wasn't her idea. She said it many times over the past 3 weeks, but it occurred to me, totally independently, that I didn't get out enough. And, I thought, maybe there's other couches, and maybe they're comfier. And, that's a motivating thought. And also my butt kind of hurt because I hadn't gotten up for like 3 weeks. And, I was running low on snacks. I gotta get more snacks. So what I did was I got up and I went outside and I went back and we sat back on the couch for another 3 weeks. But after that, I called up one of my buddies and said, hey, do you want to do something? And those are not productive, good words. Because if you're actually like, I don't know what I want to do, but I want to do something. That's a spell for disaster. Because, if you're like, I want to go out and play tennis. I mean, you're crazy, obviously, for saying that tennis. Who even does that? But if we're saying that you have a purpose, so you go out, you play tennis, you come home, nobody gets hurt. Except when they do, because, tennis is really dangerous. I had an aunt. She went and played tennis. They mistook her for the ball. I never saw her again. Someone scored a really good shot. But anyway, so we didn't know what we wanted to do, but I wanted to do something. So I called my buddy and said, hey, do you want to do something? And I called up Chester. Chester is not my friend. He is my buddy. There's a difference. Now, there's two definitions for the word buddy. One is the guy who accompanies you in your Disney movie. And the other one is the guy you go drinking with and you don't know his name, but you kind of know it's him and you could probably recognize his kids in a lineup, because he's got a picture of them in his wallet. If he's married, he probably isn't. You probably know his girlfriend, but she's never talked to you. And you don't really know what he does for a living, but you don't ask any questions because it's just safer that way. And so, I call him up. And I'm like, hey, Chester, you want to do something? And Chester's like, yeah, I'm going on a road trip. Chester, I talked about this in my last video. He owns a lot of cars. I won't go into it here. It's stupid. It's a stupid, inordinate amount of cars. No one should own that many cars. He recently bought a parking garage to keep his cars in. I don't know where he got the money. I'm supposed to be the rich kid in our little social group, among all the buddies. I'm the richest one. I always pay for everything, but somehow he got the money to buy a parking garage. I think he was in a movie or something. Like, he did, stunt doubling for, I think it was Jackie Chan. I don't know. I don't know who he did stunt doubling with. It didn't make sense because, Chester, he's a squirrel monkey. And so I asked him, who are you stunt doubling for? And another squirrel monkey? He's like, that is so racist, man. Not all squirrel monkeys, do doubles as squirrel monkeys. Then I'm like, okay, name one actor who looks like a squirrel monkey. And he's like, I can't reveal anything. I'm under contract. I'm like, oh, you're under contract. Sure you are. I'm pretty sure he got the money from the mob. I couldn't see him doing that. But A stunt double? I mean, come on, I can write better than that. So anyway, he's like, yeah, I was gonna go on a road trip. And his quote-unquote road trip was just to a gas station. But he got everyone together. He's like, we're gonna go on a road trip. So we all go to his house, and I take public transportation, which is a nightmare. Because, I don't drive. I don't have thumbs. And I can't reach the pedals. So I don't drive. It's stupid. I mean, I have my license. I mean, okay, no. I have my learner's permit, which is like a license, but stupider, and no one takes it seriously, and it's a heck of a pain to keep it up every year, because you gotta go to this place full of these big sweaty people and take your test, and they're all looking at you like they want to hurt you, and it's this confusing little screen with buttons that don't work, and you're so stressed out, and you don't know what you're gonna do. And there's this judgmental lady there who handed you your paperwork. There's always paperwork. It's always on one of those cheap binders, and you never know what you're supposed to do with it. Where do you put the pen? And, does it go behind the metal thing? Or does it attach to the thing? And at the end, you get graded by a computer. It's like Skynet is taking over. And then you find out, oh, yeah, you get to keep your learner's permit. Come back next year. They sound just like that. I think it's one by Mickey Mouse or something. But anyway, so I have my learner's permit, but I can't drive because, I can't drive for obvious reasons. So I had to take public transportation because I called Chester. It's like, hey, can you pick me up? It's like, no, you're not on my road trip route. No, I'm like, what? Like, how am I? I'm like, we live really close by. I live in this little cul-de-sac. I won't say where because I don't want internet creeps driving by. And stealing all my garden gnomes. I have a substantial garden gnome collection. Many of them are extremely expensive garden gnomes. I don't want any freaks going by and stealing my garden gnomes. I have a friend. He has a garden gnome collection. And he had this internet freak come by and steal all his garden gnomes. I couldn't believe it, like every single one. Like, what kind of monster do you have to be to take every single one of a man's garden gnomes? I mean, that's heartless. I think there are real monsters on the internet, and they're after people's garden gnomes. So I won't say where I live, but and my poor buddy, he had to go on eBay and buy all his garden gnomes back from a guy named Chad. Great job, Chad. Yeah, you suck, Chad. Let it be known that Chad is the worst person on this planet. On God's green earth, Chad is the worst. Excuse me. Sorry, Chad. I had to get level with you there, We gotta be honest here. You're a really horrible person, and I super hate you, and my buddy's coming after you. Like, he's on his way right now. Just FYI. I mean, by the time this video goes up, yeah, actually, exactly at the time this video goes up, he's after you, Chad. You're gonna pay, Chad. Anyway. Oh, I'm getting such a cough. Man, it's freaking but cold in here. Too bad I had to get off the couch to turn up the thermostat. Oh, well, I guess I'll freeze to death. It's easier that way. If worst comes to worst, I'll cover myself up in my potato chips. They're surprisingly insulative. I mean, you don't even have to ingest them. I mean, the bags are warm. Anyway, so Chester won't come and pick me up because I'm not on his route because I live in this little cul-de-sac and it's right next to his cul-de-sac. I mean, he actually lives in a cul-de-bag. It's like a cul-de-sac, but it's smaller, and it's kind of shabbier, and there's that one neighbor with like 27 bikes, and none of them work, and they're all, painted like famous cartoon characters, and you're like, he doesn't have any kids, but he has a lot of kids' bikes, and you don't talk to him, but he plays a lot of loud music at night, but during the day, no one is there. He's the creepy neighbor, People like that. I think his name is Chad. But anyway, he lives in a cul-de-bag. It's like a smaller cul-de-sac, and it's like right next to mine. But he wasn't gonna come because he had to turn right, and he would have had to turn left to pick me up. So I had to walk 7 blocks to the left to get on the bus station and go all the way around so I could get to the place that was actually right now. I could have just walked. Who am I kidding? Why would I walk? I can't wait till they reinvent WEGs, WEGs are so stupid. I think in the coming age of the future, we will just get, we will go past WEGs. After the robot overlords have taken over, and we've transcended to a computational state and all this rubbish. I hope we're past WEGs. We're trying to give our robots WEGs and teach them to walk, and I'm like, guys, thinking about it wrong. We shouldn't be teaching the robots to walk. Think about it. They don't have to walk. They could just like travel through wires, or we could you tie them to squirrels and make them do the walking. You know, there's so many great ideas. I don't want to have to use my legs. I don't have to get up and walk. I want to be able to do everything from the couch. And you know, so far, technology is helping. I have the internet now. If I'm hungry, I can call someone and be like, I can go on the internet. I can order a pizza, and then a man will come to the door. And he will knock, he'll go, and I'll be, come in, which will creep him out, because, you know, they're not used to that. It's the funniest thing. You tell the pizza man to come in, he'll start sweating, and I'll be like, hello, Chad, we meet, well, I'm just kidding. He'll come in, and I'll just like, yeah, bring it right over here, and he'll kind of give me a look, I guess, because then but you know, I'll pay him, I'll tip him, and he walks away. I didn't have to get up. You know, I'm waiting till Amazon does the drone delivered pizzas. It's happening. Next 10 years, a drone will deliver pizza to your house. I promise you, it will happen. You can trust the pig on the internet. I trust you. I mean, you can trust me. I don't trust you, Chad. Anyway, so I didn't walk because it's stupid. Because my legs suck. You know, because you gotta move, and you're sweating, and it's just so much work. And, you know, pigs, we can't sweat. So I have to bring a bunch of artificial perspirant when I go walking. You know, in those big aerosol cans that they tell you, like, they give cancer to the trees or something. They're, like, super bad, you know, for the environment. And, you know, you're spraying them, and you accidentally spray yourself in the face. And it tastes kind of like those old prunes you ate at Aunt Margaret's house you found in her basement. And then she tells you, what prunes? And you go, oh... you don't know what they were. But anyway, I get on public transit, and I just realized I filled up the link for this video already, and I haven't even gotten to the point. Anyway, we're running over today, but so what we're going to do, so what I do is I get on public transit, and it's sweaty, and it's sticky, and there's this big, large man, probably named Chad, sitting next to me, and he's listening to his electronic device. Everyone's listening to their electronic devices. I don't have a phone, but I don't like feeling left out, so I bring my toaster, and then I just kind of set it in my lap, and I play with the window switch. And when people look at me funny, I look at them funny. And then I just stare at the toaster. And I feel like it's good social commentary. You know, we're all looking at our electronic devices, as we should be. You know, and if I don't have an electronic device, I'm going to look at my toaster, because I want to be part of this community, you know? And I'm just waiting for them to have internet toasters, and then, you know, my dreams are to come through. I mean, I could buy a phone, but sheesh, that's a lot of work. I mean, my gosh, just invent me an internet toaster. It's easier. So anyway, I ride public transit, and buses suck, blah, 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 blah. And we get to Chester's house, and he's got a bunch of his buddies, which are not the same thing as my buddies. Okay, I have friends. Believe it or not, I have friends. Then I have buddies. Buddies are friend wimbo. They exist somewhere between friend, enemy, and drinking buddy. Okay, like in a Venn diagram, you've got friends, you've got buddies, you've got drinking buddies, you have acquaintances, you have Facebook friends, and there's like 2 million of those. I'm waiting for Facebook enemies, by the way. When do I get Facebook enemies? I want Facebook enemies. When can I be like, Pep'e the Pig has added you as his Facebook enemy? I want that. You know, that's a feature that needs to happen. There's too many people like Chad in the world who are out there doing horrible things, and they need to know that they made enemies with the Pep'e. Anyway, I could go for some chips, but I'd have to move. That's not worth it. Okay, so we go to Chester's house, and he has his buddies, which are not like my buddies. They're more distant. They're the buddies' buddies. You know, the friend of a friend, a buddy's buddy. He could kill you. You don't know. Because, you know, your buddies, you don't trust. You just hang out with them. They're probably a bad influence, but they're there. You know, and you need somebody to do crazy things with. That, you know, things you would never actually do with your friends because you want them to stay your friends. But anyway, so I get in the car with his buddies, and the weather takes a weird. So apparently, every 200 years where I live, there's a tornado. Like, there shouldn't be tornadoes. Like, we have mountains and forests, and, you know, they say, well, but every, 200 years, you know, like how Yosemite erupts into, this crazy volcano thing, or it's going to any day now, or something crazy. They say that so they can sell beef jerky to crazy people who build bunkers. Anyway, apparently, every, 200 years, there's a giant super tornado where I live. So, we're driving along. I look up and the sky is green. You know, like cucumber green, like pea soup green. I'm like, hey guys, is this sky green? And they go, because, you know, let's face it, they're not the cleverest people, because they're Chester's buddies. But I look over at Chester, I'm like, Chester, you're seeing this? And Chester, he's listening to his music, and Chester has this thing when he listens to music, he is blind to everything. Like, he should not be doing this when he drives. Like, I tell him, Chester, don't listen to music when you drive, you get so into it. He's doing this. And he just does that when he listens to music. Like, he smiles so big, his eyes twinkle up like this. He can't see where he's going. He goes to a higher transcendent state, and he listens to "I'll be with you tomorrow," and he's doing this. And I'm like, Chester, are you seeing this? And then the song keeps playing, and I look back at the buddies, and they're not paying attention, and he's not paying attention, and by some miracle, we're still on the road, and then this super tornado descends from the heavens like an alien. I was gonna say an angel, but you know, angels aren't as bad as aliens. You know, there's a graph there. And like this alien mothership, and it picks up our car, and we go hurtling through the air, and I'm screaming, and all the buddies are screaming, and Chester's going, and we go screaming through the air, just like that. Oh, I shook the whole couch. My gosh, I'm putting on weight. And we go hurtling through the air, and we land in this pool in the park. And we're okay. But Chester is in tears because his car, oh my gosh, his car, it got wet. The seats are wet. It's going to cost a fortune to fix. Blah, 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 stinking, blah. I'm like, okay, you know, Chester, I've had it with you. And so I just kind of wander off, you know? Because it's one of those awkward situations where we accidentally, essentially, technically, crashed a giant VW van into a park pond. Like, because, I mean, we didn't mean to. It was a tornado. Right? That was our story. It's a tornado, a super tornado. It had nothing to do with Chester going as he was driving. It was definitely a tornado. And, like, honest to goodness, it was a tornado. Yeah, it was a tornado. And so, I just kind of wander off because I don't want to get caught, you know? Like, I don't want to be here. You know, we're all milling around. We don't know what to do. Chester's sobbing over his car. I'm like, Chester, you have 50 cars. It's going to be okay. He's like, no one will ever buy it. It's not in mint condition. I'm like, it's not a comic book. It's a car. You can fix it. You know, Chester, I like comic books. I don't read them, but I think they're really fun. You know, you buy them and you put them on the wall. And they're all the pretty covers, you know. I really think it's fun. But Chester, you know, he doesn't like comic books. He's all about cars. I haven't eaten lunch today. Snap. Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up here. So I wander off from the BW bus that's crashed in the park pond, and you know, all of Chester's buddies are also kind of slowly making themselves scarce, because of course they're not gonna stick around. And I kind of just wander off, and I'm like, you know what? I want to go on vacation. You know, and what was the name of the possum? Was it Wary? Oh yeah, he's a Libertarian possum. That's right. Yeah. Well, he's a Libertarian possum. So I go to this bar. And when you go to a bar without buddies, one or two things happens. Either you just spend a really sad evening by yourself drinking, which happens way too often, or you make new buddies, which happens a lot if you drink, especially if you drink long enough. So I go to the bar and I meet this Libertarian possum named Larry. And he thought every time I said that, for some reason, I don't know, every time I talked to him, he would quack up, he'd go, ha, 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 ha. And Larry has a great laugh, you know. Larry is he's a kind of person with one of those wonderful laughs. Larry has wonderful laughs. And he quacked up so hard whenever I talked to him. So we just hit it off, and, you know, and we're drinking, and we're partying, and we're dancing with girls. No, that didn't happen. No one danced with us. But we drank, and we had fun, and eventually Larry's like, okay, you're going to get in my Lamborghini, and we're going to go for a drive. So I went with Laughing Larry in his Lamborghini, and we drove to the airport. And I'm like, Larry, what are we doing at the airport? And he's like, you know, he's just talking, you know. He's like, oh, we're going to do the thing with the day. And, you know, we're both kind of drunk, so I just go with it. I'm like, yay, the airport. Look at the airplanes. I'm a very happy drunk. And anyway, so we go to the airport. And all of a sudden I realize we're going through airport security, which isn't a big deal for me. Because, I mean, I don't have any pockets. I don't wear any pants. You know, it's not a big deal. I don't even have to take off my shoes. I just walk through the metal detector, and I'm like, okay, we're done. And you know, like they searching me, like there's not really much to search. It's really not a lot of. It's not a complicated thing for me. But I got unsituated. Oh, I hate this. Sometimes the couch, you sit on this long enough, and you make a little huddle for yourself. And then the trouble is you can't get out of it when you're done. So this is gonna be a problem, I think. Anyway, we go through airport security, and you know, I realized Larry's handing me this ticket, and I'm like, Larry, what are we doing with this ticket? And we go out onto we go out this back way, and we're boarding this kind of like this plane sort of thing. It's this, which somehow we wind up on the airstrip. I don't remember how. And he's got one of those little, you know, those little planes they have in Alaska. You know, like those little, like the ocean hoppy planes, you know, where it's like a little short range plane. He's like, come on, get in. And I'm like, okay, Larry. And we get in his plane, and he says, we're gonna go have some fun. You know, my uncle owns a private island, and we're gonna go there, and we're gonna drink, and we're gonna have fun, and we're gonna have parties. And I'm like, yes, Larry, let's go to your uncle's private island. And, you know, at this point, I have a brief recollection. No, Chester's sitting in the park. His bus, is floating in a duck pond. Maybe I should call him or go back. And then I think, nah, private island. Let's go to the private island. So me and Larry, both kind of tipsy. We get in his private plane. I don't know why we went through the process of airport security and buying tickets when we decided to go on his private plane. Like, I don't remember why we did that, but we did it. It was a whole process. It's like, put your electronic devices in the bin. I was like, so I put my toaster in the bin, you know. And they scan it, and they're like, hey, your toaster's made of metal. You can't bring it. And I'm like, well, isn't the phone made of metal? And I get this huge argument. And, you know, then they pin me down, and they do the search, but the full cavity search. But, you know, I'm a little pig, and there's not much to search, and they're all disappointed. And like, hey, he doesn't have anything, and they let me through, and it's this whole debacle, and I'm like, I'm gonna sue your face off. I know so many lawyers, you know, because, you know, you gotta give as good as you get, you know, in this world. People give you a hard time, you just gotta push back, you know, you gotta escalate it, polarize, you know, get into a huge fight, end up in prison, and, you know, then you can take it to court, and you can win, and finally you will have peace. That's what my dad said anyway. He's not alive anymore, but, you know, that's what he used to say. And my mom would kind of do, yes, dear, like, just like that. And he was so inspirational to me, but, you know, he never bothered to get off the couch and do anything. So I like to take inspiration from that portion of his life. But anyway, so we go through our security for no reason. We wind up in his private plane, and we're flying out. So I get the feeling that Larry has a lot of money. Because, you know, he's got his own little personal, you know, Alaska plane. And then it occurs to me, I'm looking at this plane, and I'm like, hey, Larry, is this your plane? And Larry's like, you know, it's my plane because, you know, by right of conquest. And I look at Larry, and I realize he might have had a little bit too much to drink. And he's flying us in a plane. And I'm a little bit nervous at this point. But I'm not going to say anything because, you know, he is flying the plane. I don't want to insult him. I don't want to break his focus. Because, you know, if he crashes the plane, we're both dead. So I'm like, okay, Larry, whatever you say. And at this point, I'm, like, looking through my phone, trying to see, do I have any friends with airplanes? You know, I'm trying to figure out, can someone get to us in an airplane? And so I can jump out and get in the other airplane. Because you can do that with cars, right? Like, you're driving down the freeway, and you both slow down a little bit, and you open up one door, and you open up the other door, and you kind of do a shimmy into the other car. Have you ever done that? Please tell me someone else has done that. I do that all the time. I just kind of figured it was normal. Now that I say it, it counts kind of weird, like switching cars without pulling over. But why would you pull over to just get out of a car? I mean, if you're just fast enough, it's not a big deal. I don't know. I don't know. You guys will have to leave that in the comments. Please tell me someone else has done that. I don't want to feel like a weirdo or something. So me and Larry, the Libertarian Possum, are in this plane. Because he is a Libertarian. He told me at the bar, I'm like, you know, I'm a Libertarian. And it was like his opening sentence. You know, hi, I'm Larry. I'm a Libertarian. You want to go for a ride in my Lamborghini? So, like, he didn't say it all in one go, but it's kind of just some of it. Hi, I'm Larry. I'm a Libertarian. You want to go for a ride in my Lamborghini? So we get in his personal jet, you know, his little Alaska hopper plane, and he drives it drunkenly, and eventually we're over the open ocean. We're over the Pacific Ocean, and we're just kind of flying around, and we keep taking little dives like that. We go, what? And, it's okay, though. It's okay. We're still in the air. And we go up, and we're fine. So we're fine. I'm like, hey, Webby, can I try? And Webby's like, no, you have to take pilot's lessons, You have, and I'm like, I think you have to take pilot's lessons. And is that grammatical? I remember correcting his grammar. I said, no, you can't say you have to take pilot's lessons. You have to take pilot's lessons. I'm confused. That's not a grammatical sentence, right? You have to take pilot's lessons? It sounds like it's a weird accent. Is it just because I'm saying it? I'm so confused, guys. Anyway, so he won't let me drive because I haven't taken pilot's lessons, so I pull out my learner's permit. And I'm like, hey, I have a learner's permit. So and I scooch over. I want to drive. So it's not the same as driving a car. And I gotta be honest, I update my learner's permit every year, but it's not a flying license. Apparently there's a difference. And, well, the Possum tried to explain this to me, but I wanted to drive. So he lets me take the wheel, but he goes through and throws up in the miniature bathroom at the back of the plane, which is just the window that he rolls down. It's one of those hand crank windows. You go, and you roll it down, and he vomits at it. So we start spinning out of control, which kind of gets messy because, he's taking care of business at the window. And he's like, no, Pep'e, hit the thing. And, press that button and flip this switch. And I'm like, what? He says, Pep'e, quick, flip the button. And I'm like, which button? And he says, it's the red one. So I press the red button, but it's not the white red button. So we both get ejected out of the plane going 200 miles an hour. And we fly through the air screaming. And he says, Pep'e, pull your parachute. And I go, what? And he says, pull your parachute. And I said, I didn't bring a parachute. And we both crash in the ocean. And you don't know this, but if you crash into water going fast enough, you just black out. You just keel over. You just pass out. And I woke up and we're on the beach. And I'm like, it's a dream come true. We made it to the beach. And I'm like, hey, Wowie, we made it to your uncle's private island anyway. And he kind of slowly turns to me and he's like, Pep'e, this isn't my uncle's private island. And I'm like, oh. It's a beach, though, right? Like, I look around, but there's no one here. No one, there's no beach balls. There's no people, and we're wearing swimsuits. None of the fun of going to the beach is there. There's no Coast Guard sitting there. Like the lifeguard sitting at the top of the tower, just kind of sitting there doing nothing, watching people drown. That's a really fun part of the beach for me. I have a lot of precious family memories going down to the beach and just staring at the lifeguard, and he's just kind of sitting there watching people drown. And for me, I don't know, it sounds weird now that I say it, but that's a big part of the beach experience for me. It's lazy lifeguards. It just brings back fond memories of being a young little piggy and, wandering around the beach and being, well, why isn't the lifeguard helping them, it just makes it's so quintessentially beachy, But there wasn't one there. There was nobody there but me and Wowie. And Wowie, he's like, my phone's not getting service, and, he has a really bad hangover, and I have a really bad hangover. And so we eventually realized we're stuck on a small, obscure desert island in the Pacific Ocean, which is really impressive because he was in a short-range plane. I'm like, how did we even get out this far? And apparently we hit like a special current, in the ocean. And it's like a really obscure island where their only export is guano, which is bird poopy. And so there's a bunch of bird poop, like, everywhere. Like, there's a reason why. Like, you would think, oh, wow, that's so creative. They have no natural resources, so they figured out they could sell the bird's poop for money. But no, it was not that creative. There was so much bird poop there. I mean, it's like the second thing I thought of, like, maybe we could sell all this. There's so much. Like how if you have more than, like, 9 cars, and you're living with anybody but yourself, they go, maybe you should sell one of your cars. It's like that, It's why I get on Chester's back so much, because he's like 50 cars. I'm like, you should sell some of those. My gosh, you're not allowed to invest all your money in having fun. You need to sell some of it back. That's why I sold all my comic books. I mean, also, it was hard to read them. I got confused a lot, but aside from that, I needed to make money. I needed to cash out. It's like stocks, Comic books are nerd stock, and, they go up in value and they go down in value. Like, recently, everyone realized that Aquaman really isn't that great, so I had to get out of the Aquaman stock because I owned all of the Aquaman comic books because I like the colors, I really like the this color scheme of the Aquaman comic books. It's just really fun. I used to have my whole room I duct taped Aquaman comic books to all the walls, Right next to, I had a big billboard that said, "You are not insane." because I'd been going through some stuff and I just needed to be reminded. It was very nice. You do enough crazy stuff, you just need to be reminded. So I had a few signs that said you were not insane, and then for the rest of the wallpaper, it was very calming. It was all Aquaman comic books that I had torn into individual pages and duct taped to all of the walls. And I had an Aquaman bed, and I had a trident that I bought off eBay, and I used it to roast hot dogs at all the family barbecues. But I'm getting distracted. So anyway, I'm on this desert beach with the Libertarian Possum named Wowie. And I'm like, Wowie, and so I turned to him. There's nothing, I mean, there's a lot of bird poop. That's what I was talking about. And there's so much of it, duh, you have to sell it. That's the recap. That was the point. But anyway, so I'm sitting with Wowie, I'm like, we could sell all this bird poop, and make a lot of money. And Wowie kind of gives me this look. He's like, no, Pep'e, we can't do that. It belongs to the government. And then he starts telling me about why the government is evil because they own all the bird poop. And, well, I mean, that's not really what he was saying, but that's what I got out of it, He's like, this bird poop should belong to anyone who has access to it. And I'm like, I don't really want any bird poop. It was just an idea. But he's like, the government is controlling everybody, and we have our citizens' rights. And I'm like, so we have a right to sell bird poop. And he's like, no, Pep'e, that's not what I'm trying to say. He got really mad at me. He's like, no, forget about the bird poop. But I'm like, there's so much of it. We got to do something with it. He's like, would you forget the bird poop? So we get in this big fight. Because, and when you get in a big fight, you have to escalate. So I'm escalating. I'm like, well, you're the one who brought up the bird poop. You're the one who wanted to come this island anyway. And, because you got to play along. Because if you don't play along, people, they feel like fools. And I don't want people to feel like fools. I want them to feel vindicated. So when people totally freak out on me, I just freak out back, It's like almost Newtonian. Every action is an equal opposite reaction. I don't want to break that. I don't want to burst people's bubbles. If they want to freak out on me, I want to freak out on them. It's just what they want. It just keeps the argument moving. So we freak out and we get in a big fist fight. And he has fists, and I don't. So he wins. But he's also a possum, so he's kind of small. And so I think it was more of a draw. And so after he left me there, after I woke up on the beach afterward, because after we fought, I fell down and hit my head really hard. That was it. That was it. And so he left, and because the Libertarian Possum was a dirtbag. Wowie, if you're out there, you suck. Almost as bad as Chad. Not quite as bad, because you don't steal a man's garden gnomes, but almost. Anyway, so I wandered around the island for like a month until the military came out to collect the guano. And they were also to test some kind of bomb. I'm not supposed to tell people about it because they said, hey, this is the top secret, or authorization, don't tell anyone. But anyway, they were testing a new bomb out there. And it's really something. You should see it. But anyway, I'm not supposed to tell people about that. So then they held me in a military prison for 6 months for questioning because they thought I was a North Korean spy. Which I think was very insulting to both me and to North Koreans. I think that's not very nice for anybody concerned. And after I got out of military prison, I went home and I thought, no one ever got into any trouble sitting on the couch. So that's what I've been doing. And I think it's worked out pretty well so far. Do you have any more chips? Hey, I'm talking to you. Where's my chips? I think I'm out. Let me out! The couch is eating me!